members only podcast. We've got a very interesting question today, and it is, I hate vegetables, which we hear quite a lot, don't we?
Never.
And a lot of people can relate to.
Are they 5?
What vegetables? And all vegetables? So the question is, I hate vegetables. Do I really have to eat them to lose weight?
That's the question.
That's the question.
I'm not going to laugh at that question. No, because it is actually, like, somebody's just being completely real.
Yeah.
Like, they don't like vegetables, and we're saying you eat large quantities of them. Now, do you really need to eat them in order to lose weight? And the vegetables are almost two different subjects. So no, you don't have to eat them in order to lose weight. You just have to eat less in order to lose weight. Like, at its very core, you can lose weight if you eat Mars bars.
Yeah.
If you went on the Mars bar only diet, you could still lose weight. Just by eating less, like, as long as you only, I don't know how many Mars bars you could eat in a day. How many calories are in a Mars bar?
150?
Say there's like 150. You could
about
eat
10?
like 10 Mars bars in a day and still lose weight.
Yeah.
That's all you were eating.
But the...
I now today firmly endorse the Mars bar diet, 10 Mars bars a day, and you're guaranteed to lose weight. Economical as well.
no inflation these days.
So, like, here's the funny thing about that, right? I don't even need to quantify that by saying it's a joke, and people know it's a joke, right? And yet a lot of people's diets still look like 10 Mars bars a day.
Yeah.
Might not be actually 10 Mars bars, but it's still like full of processed, like stodgy food that's hard to digest.
No nutrients.
No nutrients, you know, that's going to leave you in a insulin related roller coaster, that's going to feel like an emotional roller coaster. It's going to give you mental health problems as well as physical health problems.
So you saying that is why we tell people to eat vegetables. Like, when it comes down to the practicality of whether you're actually going to stick at that, the vegetables help.
Yeah, so, like, I get it, like, somebody doesn't like vegetables. So this is, of course, our chance to remind you that we do have a 30-day fruit and veg challenge, which is available to all the members. It's included in your membership. So if you haven't worked your way through that yet, I would actually strongly advise you to do it, because it's like a step-by-step, 30-day step-by-step process to introduce you to the why behind the fruits and the vegetables. And it also encourages you just to, like, try new veg. So that's where I was going next, which was to say, I get it, like, maybe you have eaten like a 5-year-old, all joking aside, maybe you have eaten like a 5-year-old and you're now 35 and you've done that all your life. Like, that's a big change. That's a big change, and you'll have quite strong visceral emotional reactions to the thought of eating broccoli. You probably just had it there, right? Like, when I've said that, like, oh my God, like, really protective of yourself. So there's a real challenge there to acknowledge that it is that, like, it's an overreaction.
Yes.
And that it's an emotional reaction.
Yeah.
And really to dig into that and go, hang on, maybe I can get past this. Like, you know you can, it's just that you don't want to.
Yeah, because it's a challenge to undo those years of telling yourself that you don't like vegetables, they're not nice, they taste gross. It's just a habit.
Like
you trained it into your brain.
Yeah.
And it's hard to undo those bad habits.
I remember, this was adorable, absolutely adorable. There was a girl years ago who was speaking to me about vegetables. I've been talking about this for a long time. And she's like, Hannah, I really don't think I can do it. And I was like, well, why don't you start with something really ridiculously small? I was like, just eat a pea. I was like, don't even eat the pea, lick the pea. I was like, just trying to break through those barriers, because it's such a you could eat a pea and not even know you'd eaten it, right?
Yeah.
So you know that is a mental block. That is not about the taste and the texture. That is something you've created in your mind that has made it much bigger than the reality of it. And so I said to her, like, just do that. And she sent me a photograph of a plate with one pea on it and then an empty plate. She's like, I didn't just lick it, I ate it.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
You have no idea how many people over the years I've told them just to lick the vegetable.
Yeah.
And it's joking / not joking.
But you're right. And I know many people in my life, there's somebody in particular telling me that they didn't like a certain vegetable. And I was like, oh, when did you try that? And they're like, I've not. They've not tried it. Or people who will not eat vegetables on their own or like as a side dish, but if I had put it into a meal, you know, into like a curry, they'll eat it no bother, it's delicious.
Which actually is a nice wee cheat, isn't it? It's like I hate to use the hack thing, but it is a hack. That's a nice wee hack. So hide it.
Yeah.
So if you love rice, then chop up your veg as small as you want, like microscopic if you want. Mix it in with your rice.
Yeah.
You know, or put it into your curry or into your stew or your sauces. You probably are eating vegetables anyway. You're just not thinking about it. Like just when you've said the sauces there, how many people like do the whole pasta and sauce thing? Please don't do that. That's another conversation. And in that sauce, there's usually like chopped peppers and onions, tomatoes.
That's one of the best. You can add in extra vegetables.
And if you make your own,
really small.
Make your own, and you can put whatever you want in it. And like maybe that's a nice way to get past that barrier.
Yeah, but that I think you need to realise then that is something that you're telling yourself. Like people will drill it into themselves that they don't like vegetables. But then if you can eat vegetables in a pasta sauce, you actually kind of do like them.
Yeah.
You need to be careful that you're not telling yourself that story.
Which takes me to another lovely point, which is we also have another 30-day challenge.
Oh yes!
Which is on changing your identity. Because that identity of I am someone who doesn't like vegetables, you might think that sounds silly, but that is actually what people have done. If you're saying about like people saying that they don't like it and they've never even tried it, that is in the core of who they think they are. They've decided that they are somebody who doesn't like vegetables.
They don't eat vegetables.
That sounds ridiculous, but it's all these little layers that make up who we are. And the 30-day challenge that we have about changing your mindset really helps you understand a lot of your behaviours and the whys behind who you are, but it also looks at like who you want to be. So if you can change that narrative to like, maybe not I am someone who loves vegetables, because you're not going to believe that narrative. Yeah. But what about I am someone who is willing to try new things? Like what about something as simple as that? You know, I am someone who enjoys a challenge. Yes. You know, like a simpler narrative that's easier for you to get your head round, rather than trying to like just full on like lie to yourself. Yes. And you know, you might at the end of that end up as like, I'm someone who loves vegetables. When I was your age, I literally was when I was your age. So when I was in my early 20s, I didn't really eat vegetables. I would make things like bolognese and stuff like that when I was at university. But no, a vegetable would appear on a pizza. Yes.
It wasn't part of your meal.
It wasn't part of my meal, and I would never have chosen to like have broccoli with my dinner. Yeah. So, you know, like give yourself a chance. Like just because you are somebody who believes of yourself in a certain way just now, or your behaviours suggest that you are a certain type of person just now, like that can fully change and evolve over time. Yeah.
Do you know, another point actually as well, when you said that you probably do eat some vegetables, people do. Those people that told me they didn't eat vegetables or they didn't like vegetables, they were eating potatoes, they were eating sweet potato, they were eating it mixed in with other things. And I think there's a strong connotation when people say all vegetables that they picture raw broccoli or like soggy.
You tell me people don't like raw broccoli.
No, a lot of them. Most people don't. Most people don't, man.
I don't believe it.
But it's also changing that, like what you picture when we say eat loads of fruits or vegetables. We don't mean just carrot sticks. Like you can roast them, you can chip them, you can do so many different things to them. And that might be that you have to re-educate yourself a little, or get more into cooking, or the skill of cooking, or you know, mixing things up. You don't have to eat salads if you don't like salads. You can do a million different things with your fruits and vegetables.
Definitely. And there's another point as well, actually. If you're really struggling with the vegetables, make sure there's plenty of fruit in your diet. You know, and really indulge in that, and like try lots of different fruits there. Maybe that's like easier for you to like get into,
Mm-hmm.
and then by accident you'll eat an avocado, and you know, oh well,
A
it's
tomato.
also a fruit.
Tomato's like just right in between there though. It's a stepping stone.
It's like a gateway vegetable.
No, I wouldn't want to eat a
Except
tomato.
it's a fruit. See, you won't even know you'll eat a vegetable by accident. What was the actual question?
I hate vegetables. Do I really? Oh, I keep doing that. Do I really have to eat them to lose weight?
Right. Okay. Back to the lose weight thing. Like, why will they help you lose weight? So there's a quantity thing going on there.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there's the vitamins and minerals and fibre in the fruits and the vegetables. That's really important. But there's also a quantity thing. If you take your Mars bar
Yes.
versus your plate of veg,
Mm-hmm.
so you'll actually be eating more in volume of, you'll actually be eating more actual food
Yes.
by eating vegetables.
Yes, as opposed to.
And if you're trying to cut calories, you're eating less than what you're used to eating, and by adding in veg, you actually might end up feeling like you're eating more
Mm-hmm.
than you're used to
Mhm.
eating. I have heard people say that before. I'm eating so much. I
Yes.
can't believe how much I'm eating.
That's exactly when I started I always ate fruits and vegetables, and when I set my target to be 800 grams, I'd get home and it'd be like 7 o'clock and I've got 300 to go, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so much.
So I think there's a massive benefit in that. Absolutely, there's a massive benefit
There's
there.
a mental change as well when you're eating really well and you're eating lots.
Yeah.
It changes how you feel about the way you're eating. You no longer feel restricted, and you start thinking to yourself, oh, I've got all this left to eat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a total mindset change as well.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, that diet has to be tiny amounts of food.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of the biggest
Absolutely.
benefits.
Yeah, I think that does that cover it?
I think so. We've kind of approached that in different angles there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've got any other questions that you would like us to answer, fire away. We love questions.
We do.
Don't forget to subscribe to our main YouTube channel where
Yes.
you'll get the longer podcasts as well. I suspect most of you are probably already subscribed to that, but it's Good Human Life on YouTube. And we'll be back soon with another one.
Yes, thank you.